Hello there. I wanted to break down the aspect of Sun square Pluto in tropical astrology. I am a Sun square Pluto native, and I've done a lot of research and being mindful about my own behavior. So this is like from my research and my own self observations that the information I'm providing you with is that from those sources. So a square is where two planets are 90 degrees apart from each other, and there is some kind of conflict and tension and hardship between the two planets, and there will be resistance in that part of life where those planets represent and which house those planets are in. So the sun is your self-identity, it's your ego, it's your relationship with your father, and Pluto is about the darkest psychology of human behavior. It is unconscious, it is trauma, it is the past, it is power, it is death and rebirth, it is regeneration. So we can clarify that Pluto is the most dynamic and intensive and powerful planet in the solar system, without a doubt. So any planet that is squaring Pluto needs to bow down and surrender. You don't stand a chance if Pluto attacks. So Pluto in Roman mythology is the counterpart of Hades in Greek mythology. It's another name. It's the same god. They're two gods. God of the underworld. And there's a legend in Greek mythology that Hades, then the god of the underworld, kidnapped Persephone down to the underworld because Hades fell in love with her. And why he did that wasn't necessarily that he is evil. Why he did that was because he became obsessed. He became highly obsessed. So that's why he did it. And Pluto square Sun natives share this trait as well. We become obsessed, and we can feel like if we don't do this, if we don't do it, we will die. That kind of obsession. So we are obsessed usually with things that are associated with the eighth house. Because what I've found is that Pluto is more associated with the eighth house than the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So we are obsessed with learning the secrets of the universe, learning about occultism, secrets that are hidden underground, conspiracy theories, tantra, yoga, tarot, astrology, manifestation, sacred geometry, psychology, everything. So that's what Pluto will give us. Our ego will not feel happy, fulfilled, before we have learned all the secrets of the universe. And we can, as said, like eighth house is sudden events. So we can experience a lot of sudden events, especially in our childhood, from our father. Because Pluto is squaring the sun, and the sun represents your father and your relationship with your father. So you most likely had a very powerful, dynamic, dark, even criminal, violent father, controlling father, who didn't allow you to show any weaknesses as a child. If you showed any weaknesses, if you were crying, you weren't allowed to cry as a child if you had displacement, believe me. But you got scolded for that. Don't be weak. Don't cry. Be a man. when you were like 6 years old. And like a real example from this is when I grew up, if I went home from school, my father said, "Where is the bullet hole in your head? You don't have any bullet hole. Go back to school." Yeah. So a lot of physical or mental abuse from the father, even physical, most likely physical abuse. Uh, so a destruction of the self-identity were present in a Sun Square Pluto native's childhood already. It already started from the moment you were born if you had this native, this aspect. Uh, so tension, so a square, tension, Pluto squaring Sun, trying to embody it, take over it. So it doesn't really matter if you have a Sun in Leo or if you're a Sun in Aries and have a strong Sun. If Pluto is squaring your Sun, you will most likely identify yourself with the zodiac sign of Scorpio, because Scorpio is associated with Pluto. You will have this depth, you will have these intense emotions, you will have this obsession, you will have this wanting to become powerful, wanting to know things that other doesn't. Very common with this placement. And it will like, some people say that like Scorpios are more associated with the 8th house, and no, I wouldn't say that. Pluto is more associated with the 8th house. So it will give you very unique abilities to see through people's underworld, feel, give you highly strong psychic unconscious abilities. You will pick up things. You will know what someone will say before they say it. You can close your eyes and know when someone is lying to you. You don't need to see it in their body language. Foretell the truth. Foretell the future. Very common. Clairvoyance. A very You have very easy to learn things that people consider taboo and dark. I am a shaman of the Armanen runes, rune magic. I do rune healing. I am obsessed with Hermetism, Thoth Trismegistus, Hermes Trismegistus. Learning how to control your reality with manifestation, crystals, how to use crystals to make yourself more powerful, and so on and so forth. Very common. Shamanism, voodoo priest, dark magic, very common with this placement. So if a woman have this placement, or anyone who have this placement, will feel followed constantly. But it depends where. But if you have like Pluto in the 3rd house, you will feel followed in your neighborhood. You will feel stalked. You will feel like a dark presence following you. If you have, I did a chart interpretation of a girl who had Sun Square Pluto in the 6th house. She felt this darkness and being stalked at work, because the 6th house is related to work. So she had like a lot of platonic people there who would be creepy to her, mentally disturbed people, and so on. Very common. Yes. So a lot of ego deaths, because the Pluto will purge your ego and destroy it, or liberate it. What I can like give for an example, like a lot of sudden events, like if something traumatic happens, something traumatic will happen again and again and again until you have like completely destroyed your self-identity. But do not resist the process. Be brave. Do not resist it, just let it happen. That's my advice I can give you, Sun Square Pluto native. Take care of yourself. Let yourself be reborn and transform yourself to a phoenix from the ashes. Let go of the ego. This placement is like comparable with drinking ayahuasca. you don't stand a chance. Mother Ayahuasca will make you kneel down. That's what Pluto will make you do. Sun, your ego, you need to kneel down for Pluto and become the strongest, most spiritual, enlightened version of yourself who can transform the life of others. That's what you will be able to do when you're done. You will transform others. You can help them face their own darkness. You can help them heal from trauma, because trauma is very associated with this aspect as well. Pluto represents the past. So what we need to do, we need to heal our past. Very important. Or else we will attract similar situations. People can feel challenged by you being there with your aura. People can feel challenged, and you can pull a lot of enemies towards you because of this. It is unconscious. Pluto is unconscious. Especially if you're feeling constantly worried and stalked by Pluto, it will make you have this warrior mentality, or this like fight or flight mentality always. So it's just things that I've experienced and things I've seen and read, and I've seen people who have died with this placement, literally died. Very tough and the most dynamic and devastating placement in tropical astrology. Yeah, thank you for watching and keep on fighting. You're stronger than you believe. Be good to yourself.